turn your head as far as you can to the left. Good. And then I want you to drop into my hand as if it's a pillow.
Holy.
Yeah, cooperated. Good. Now we have to do the other side. Turn as far as you can to the right. Good. Drop the head. Nice.
Ooh. Holy.
Still with me?
That was awesome.
Glad you think so.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Adham, good to meet you. Thanks
to
for
meet
coming
you
in
too.
today. What's going on?
So I've been dealing with like a lot of tightness. I don't actually know what's wrong, but it feels like everything is like compressed. It almost feels like I'm like squished down.
Okay.
You know, and I do have like a lot of back pain on a very like constant basis, where it's like either my mid back hurts or my upper back hurts, and it just feels like I'm covered in knots.
Okay.
You know, and also my neck is always tight, and I've realized lately when I wake up, my neck is like popping and stuff like that, and I'm always getting headaches now, and I've noticed like a visible change.
Okay.
You know, and it's like it's weird. It's
So
like,
sorry, you said you noticed a visible change. I want to clarify, like, when you say visible change, do you mean like you have seen a noticeable change in yourself, or you're having visual disturbances?
No. Like, well, I am having like a little bit of like my eyesight is kind of
Okay.
weird. I don't know if it's related to that or not.
Potentially, also potentially not.
Yeah, and in terms of my neck, it looks like my jaw has kind of like thickened out.
Okay.
You know, it feels like a lot more compressed. So when I look at pictures of myself from like a year ago, it's like my neck looks longer, whereas now it feels like it's like super short.
Right. I remember you mentioned when we were talking on the phone that you were having some jaw issues.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
I woke up one morning and it was just like my jaw felt like it was out of place.
Okay.
That's how it felt.
How long ago was that?
That was like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
Have you had that again since, or was it just kind of a one-time deal?
No, so I got back into the gym. It lasted about 4 or 5 days, and once I got back into the gym, it kind of just went away.
Okay.
Just like randomly.
Interesting.
I took
Okay.
2 weeks off the gym.
Just
So-
to like, because you were worried about what kind of that muscle tension would do?
Yeah,
or?
it was like, it was all around. I couldn't sleep well. I couldn't sleep on my side. And normally I'm a stomach sleeper, which
Okay.
I know isn't ideal.
It's like, there's no such thing as a bad sleeping position. The best sleeping position is whichever one you're able to get the most restful sleep in. But sleeping on your front's not great for your neck. If you're going to be like this or like this for like, 8 hours, you're going to wake up with a
Yeah,
little
I'm like
discomfort.
tucked away like that, like completely rotated. So it's
And then, so you also mentioned like a lot of back pain, a lot of compression stiffness.
Yeah.
How long have you been dealing with that for then?
years.
Long
Years.
time. Huh?
I visited somebody for that actually quite a while ago. Like
Chiro, physio, osteo.
Chiro.
Okay.
Except I did 2 sessions with him, and it was like once I left, I'd sleep, wake up, and I'd be like, it's
Come right
like,
back, yeah.
It's
Okay.
like this isn't working.
Now, what was it that Chiro did with you in the treatment sessions, if you can remember?
It was like a 20-minute session where
Okay.
he just like cracked my back. He didn't really run me through everything.
Okay.
He
And
gave me
that
some-
was all just the adjusting. The
Yeah,
cracking.
yeah.
He gave you some, what was that?
He gave me some like movement recommendations for when I am working out. He said do a lot of top to bottom movements, so like
Okay.
lat pull downs, avoid like bottom up movements. And I listened, but the same problems that I was having were the same things. He said I would benefit more from a massage therapist, but honestly, like when you're seeing a specialist, I believe that like a lot of your issues should be addressed there.
Yeah,
You know, so,
rightfully
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So, I'm a chiropractor, as you know. Thanks for coming in. We need to get more in depth with this history and physical before we make any treatment recommendations. But one thing that I'm thinking off the bat, because you've tried like just the sole adjusting and a little bit of movement modification beforehand, that doesn't seem like it's really helped you. So we're going to maintain the adjusting. But I don't know if I've walked you through the other methods that I have available here that I will walk you through, right? The channel's very familiar with them by now. But these kind of reoccurring stiffnesses, and like I don't know if you've actually gotten injured because of them yet or anything. This reoccurring stiffness, usually there's a heavy fascial complaint or component, excuse me. I don't know if you are familiar with fascia at all.
No.
But we'll work that today probably for sure. And that should aid in combination with the adjusting to get a greater treatment effect, okay? As far as the modification of movements, like, yeah, okay, that's something you'd want to do in cases of like acute strain or stiffness or something, but I'm not a huge fan of the concept of like, hey, you can only pull in this direction, you can't pull in this direction, because that's just not applicable to life, right? You're going to be picking stuff up off the floor for as long as you live. So to say, hey, avoid this movement, that's not going to help you, well, hey, that advice isn't really helping either. So that's kind of my take on that. All right, so we're dealing with lower or upper back pain, you mentioned?
Mid and upper.
Mid and upper.
My lower back seems to always be okay.
Okay, well, that's good. You know, that's ideal. That's good. So middle and upper, and then you mentioned jaw pain, headaches, any neck issues that you know of?
It's issues, not necessarily. It's just that tightness. And
that tightness
feels compressed.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do today then, that pretty much wraps up most of the history. We're going to get into a physical exam.
Okay.
And then we're going to figure out what I think's going on, and we're going to treat you, and we're going to get you better.
Awesome.
All right? Okay.
Awesome.
Good to hear. You okay if I take the hat off, actually?
Yeah.
All right, so you can just put that right
Off
there.
my hair, but
Yeah, no, you just worked out, right? So to start, I'm going to get you to bring your chin down to your chest for me. Good, and any kind of stiffness provoked in the back with that?
Yeah.
Where?
Along the middle, I feel.
Along the middle, are we getting it down to the back or just the neck?
Just the neck.
Just the neck region, so up to about here at the
Yeah.
bottom. All right. Now, when I push further, better, worse, or the same?
Ooh.
Worse.
Yeah, worse.
All right. Come back up, look towards the ceiling for me. Anything in the neck with that?
No.
No? All right, face forward. I want you to rotate as far as you can to the right, check your blind spot. You can get to about 85 degrees, that's pretty much full. I'm going to get you to rotate to the left, please. So there's a significant asymmetry here. You guys can't see it, but here he's getting to just about 50 degrees. We're at 85 and 50, that's a 25 degree difference, I think. Am I doing that math correctly?
Yeah.
35? I don't.
35.
I'm not good at math, guys. That's not my strength. I was a science guy. We'll get you to bring your ear down to your shoulder. Good, good. So that is about just past 45, maybe 50 degrees. Stretch on the left side.
Yeah, like heavy stretch.
Heavy stretch.
Yeah.
Okay, left ear to left shoulder. And that's pretty symmetrical. That's pretty even both sides, but definitely a restriction to that left side. I'll get you to give yourself a hug. Okay, good. And I want you to rotate as far as you can to the left. We're able to get to, say, just past 45, just past 50, and now to the right, please. And we can go further to the right than we can to the left with this. Here we're getting to about 70, the other was 50, so that's really good. All right, so I've got some asymmetry, you can relax those. Definitely got some muscular tightness, probably joint tightness to that too, but we're going to figure that out in a minute too. I'm going to get you to actually look up into the back, upper back left corner of this room. Any discomfort in the neck as you do that?
On the right side.
On the right side, okay. And now, same deal, but over to this corner instead. Anything in the neck with that?
Nope.
No? All right, good. Arms up for me.
Yo, look at your triceps. Holy shit!
When he called in, he told me that he was a big guy, and then off camera he was complimenting me and making me blush. So I used to bring your arms up for me. Keep them there, okay? Don't even move them. So like strong,
Okay.
strong. There we go. Keep it there. Keep it there. Good. Keep it there. Keep it there. Good. Arms forward. Curl the wrists backward for me. Keep them there. Good. Good. Turn around and curl inward. Good. And good. Fingers. Keep them curled tight. Good. And here. Keep them strong. There we go. There we go. Turn over and squeeze my fingers. Good. 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 Relax. So you mentioned you feel like the middle of your back has a hunch. What do you want to elaborate on that? Not sure what you mean.
It feels like the sides, like right beside my spine, are like just full of knots, and I don't know if they're like protruding. I have no idea what it is, but it feels like there's a hunch.
So are you referring to kind of in the center of your, like here?
Yeah, like
Okay.
right where your hands are.
Yeah, so you are describing what's referred to as your paraspinal muscle groups. Okay, I'm not sure if you've heard of these, or our erector spinae, that's the other name of them.
Okay.
But they're these big meaty bands that exist like adjacent to our spine.
Yeah.
Okay, and you definitely have some protuberant ones right here. Okay, now out of curiosity, how's your deadlift form? In your opinion?
Really deadlift.
You don't really deadlift very often. Okay, so I've been working out for about 10 years. All right, for the first 7 or so years, I was deadlifting incorrectly. All right, like I didn't have a good hip hinge. Finally figured it out. That's also why my deadlift is so weak, coincidentally, compared to my other lifts. I don't know if you watched the whole mock powerlifting meet, but in here, our erectors are what we rely on if we're not doing our deadlifts correctly, and we end up getting really, really thick ones. And it can result in feeling of those knots, because I had something very similar to this. Friends would even comment on how big these were, right? Whereas like other people's, they don't do that because they're deadlifting properly. They end up getting a bigger butt because that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? So even feeling through here, definitely like I'm feeling your body kind of fight me a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a jolt there. So you're definitely tight, definitely a big muscle component, but we can work on that as well.
I also, I used to be 400 pounds.
Used to be 400
I
pounds.
used to be 400 pounds.
Holy
Yeah,
shoot,
so
dude.
from my heaviest weight to my lowest weight, I lost 200 pounds. But the back issue started back when I was like gaining that weight initially before I lost it.
How many years ago was that?
That was just like 3-4 years ago.
Friggin'
I
phenomenal.
lost it
dude.
very dramatically. Yeah.
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 Like dramatically, like in a healthy way, or
Yeah, moderately healthy, like
moderately?
85 to 90 pounds the first year.
Okay, no, that's not unreasonable.
Yeah.
Good job, dude. I know so many people who get caught up in that cycle and they never make the changes necessary for a positive change,
Yeah.
right? But you're a success story
Thank
in
you.
this case. Like, genuinely, man. Like, take pride in that if you don't.
Thank you.
I hope you do. Jeez. All right, so we're going to take a minute here to feel through Adham's neck, and I also want to highlight a question that he had that is a rather good one. He mentioned that he's been feeling these kinds of bodily aches and pains since before his dramatic weight loss back when it was 400 pounds, you said?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And what we need to talk about here is the concept of putting stress on one's body. So Adham now, he's a bit of a gym rat, all right, as am I. He spends a lot of time at Good Life as a personal trainer and working on himself. He puts his body through stress, and he does that intentionally, but that is a healthy form of stress, okay? Resistance training involves repeatedly breaking down your muscle tissue so that it builds back stronger, so that your normal activities of daily living aren't something dramatically painful or difficult for you to do. Now, when you're 400 pounds, your body is just putting itself through stress in basically everything that you do. That is not healthy. It should not be a stressful experience for you to have to stand up out of bed in the morning or climb downstairs or whatever kind of challenges you're getting at that point. That's an unhealthy stress. What you're doing now is a healthy stress, but it still can be uncomfortable on the body, and that's why people like me are able to help you out. So I hope that kind of answers your question there.
Yeah.
So I am feeling some neck tightness throughout. It's not too dramatic. One thing worth mentioning is that the neck can have direct effects on the jaw biomechanics. You haven't had that jaw issue since, right?
No,
No?
and I've never had it before. That was the first time.
Okay, so open your mouth as wide as you can right now. Any pain on either of your TMJ areas there?
No, but the right side feels looser than the left side.
Close the mouth. And once again, open slowly, please. And you feel like you have more looseness there?
Yeah, and that's where the pain was.
So that's where it was. Are you
Yeah.
still getting the pain though?
No.
No? Okay. So usually when something happens one time, truthfully, I'm not too concerned about it because
Okay.
we can have aches and pains for any number of reasons.
Yeah.
It's when it happens 2 or 3 times that we're starting to establish a pattern. That's when I'm concerned.
All right.
So regarding the jaw, not too worried unless it happens again. Okay,
Mhm.
you come in where there are different ways that we can treat the TMJ joints,
Mhm.
whether that's through acupuncture or adjusting or massage, intraoral or extraoral massage.
Yeah.
But I'm not too concerned about it just yet.
Okay.
The neck, like I said, can have connection to the jaw, so it's possible in treating your neck today. We also treat this.
All right, awesome.
We don't know. No way to know that until after we do it. All right. So when was the last time you had your neck adjusted, buddy?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. So that's a while. Let's see if your neck will cooperate with me for today. All right, we got the microphone there. Turn your head as far as you can to the left. Good. And then I want you to drop into my hand as if it's a pillow.
Holy.
Yeah, cooperated. Good. All right. So that right side's feeling a little bit looser after that. Let's check out that left.
It's crazy because when you first did that thing with your fingers where you were feeling it,
Mhm.
before I felt it. And now it's like...
It doesn't feel like anything's
No, it
bothering
doesn't,
you there.
it doesn't feel as bad now.
Yeah, no, good. Happy to hear. So, adjusting both addresses the joints and muscle knots, okay, by 2 different mechanisms. So, the fact that you're feeling better and it feels better to me afterwards shows that it's definitely had an effect. Now, we have to do the other side. Okay, turn as far as you can to the right. Good. Drop the head.
Ooh.
Even bigger on that one, eh?
Holy.
Still with me?
That was awesome.
Glad you think so. Yeah. Alright, let's get you face down once again. Okay. Take a breath in for me. And all the way out. There's one little one. You okay? Yeah. Good, good. And take a breath in. All the way out. Yeah, 2 deep ones there. So as Adham had said before, he had seen a chiro who adjusted him and suggested some movements that should help him out. And that would also aggravate his upper back complaints, and that he should avoid lifting things up from the ground. Well, that's not particularly doable, because living life, you're not going to stop and analyze every little movement you do before you do them. So one thing that everybody watching this is probably familiar with, that I found to be very effective at dealing with chronic levels of tightness and reoccurring stiffness, stuff like that, is addressing the fascial component of the complaint. Now, the fascia, said this 1,000 times, is a saran wrap-like layer that encapsulates all of the muscles, joints, bones, pretty much everything in our body, that allows these things to slide against each other in a frictionless environment. Now, it's important that this environment is frictionless, because if you develop friction on your movements, well, we perceive that as stiffness, pain, or reoccurring injury, which is exactly what he's dealing with, the stiffness and the discomfort and pain. So it's possible that we've developed some adhesions or some stickiness within that fascia, for which instrument-assisted soft tissue therapy, very, very effective at treating. And if we are to release those adhesions, we should hopefully decrease the stiffness in ways that it hasn't been targeted before. All right, there's my big long rant. Did you understand all that? Because it's important that you get it too.
Yeah.
Perfect. You're good. Now, Adham, I also wanted to ask you about, so I mean, you mentioned that you had lost so much weight. You used to be 400 pounds. You're down to what now? Like just over 200? What do you?
I'm currently like 245.
245. So about 250, 245. But you've lost a ton of weight.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that? Because that's a remarkable amount.
Yeah. So I was kind of just sick of like getting tired, even getting out of my car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when you're that weight, everything like impedes on like your day-to-day basis. Even as simple as like getting out of bed in the morning, or like taking a walk to the bathroom from your bedroom. And I was sick of it, so I decided with my brother, it was like the start of COVID, we're like, let's do something dramatic to start it off. And we went on a 1-week water fast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so 1 week only water.
Holy shit.
And then
I probably would have killed somebody after the first 72 hours.
Oh, yeah. The third day is always the hardest.
Yeah.
On the 5th day, you see like the brighter side of things. And then after that, it just kind of stuck with like good diet. I didn't work out for the first like 5-6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got into the gym and I was like, wow, I love this.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I remember my first time seeing like muscle definition. And it was like, it was a game changer for me. I was like, I need this. And I just never stopped.
Well, man, that's phenomenal. I feel like you'd be a serious contender for COVID transformation challenges, right?
Oh, yeah. I have it all on my Instagram.
Actually, I might have to check you out afterwards on that, because I want to see the before and after.
Yeah.
It sounds very, very drastic. So seriously, congratulations to you. I'm guessing your brother lost weight too, if he was doing that fast and all that?
Yeah, he was, at the time, he was already like big in the gym.
Oh, okay.
He was into working out when he was still really big.
Okay.
He himself, from like his heaviest weight to his lowest weight, lost about like 160 pounds.
Hey, that's huge too. Congrats to him.
Yeah. It runs in like our family to be bigger, and we were kind of the people that were like, we don't want to be like this.
You want to end that.
Yeah, we at least want like movement that like benefits us, so that's why we work out so much. You know, because like when you work out, your lifestyle, your mental health, everything about your life is just like easier.
100%. And I wish more people understood that the benefits of working out far surpass obviously just the weight changes and the healthy changes that come with that, but the mental, the emotional, the self-confidence, like, it sounds like you really turned over a leaf, man, and like your life's gonna only be better because of it.
Absolutely. And that's why it's best to like address the issues that I'm having, because like, imagine supplementing something so good for you with something good for you as well. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, like I talked about earlier with healthy stressors, like, you're going to still need a little bit of push back towards lack of stiffness, or back towards comfort, rather, every now and again. Especially, how old are you now, Adham?
I just turned 24 yesterday.
You just turned 24, okay. So, for whatever reason, I find that once you pass the magical age of 25... is when most people start feeling the need to get in to see a chiro or massage therapist or physio. You, it could be a little bit earlier because you have had that other stress.
Yeah.
But still, like, I just met you, and I'm pretty damn proud of you. Truthfully, already.
Thank you.
Like, yeah. So as we can see on Adham's back here, we do have at least some mild to moderate fascial component to consider with the forming petechiae here. Totally normal to see this kind of red splotchiness. It'll heal up within about 72 hours. You okay if I work in on your neck too? I'll use a smaller tool.
Yeah,
of
go
course.
for it.
Good.
This feels great. To be honest, like, it feels great.
A lot of people, when they see them, they're worried because they look like torture tools. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I
if
thought
you've
it
ever
was-
seen like James Bond or something, like, we're gonna make you talk.
Yeah,
But,
no, it feels great.
Good. Happy you think so.
Do other people not think so?
No, everybody does, but people
Yeah.
are usually scared before they actually try it.
Oh
so.
no, this is like actually amazing.
Good. Yeah, I think these tools have made my career, personally.
So is there like a lot of neck tightness or like?
Your neck's not too bad. All right, your neck is better than your upper back.
Oh,
right?
sorry, I meant shoulder.
Oh, shoulder tightness. Yeah, I mean, there was, and there still is. It's going to take more than just one visit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so long as you maintain, like, your activity, which I fully expect that you intend to, you're going to need little check-ins every now and again, right?
Yeah.
But that's just normal, right? It could be either a chiro, it could be me, it could be a physio, it could be a massage therapist, could just be regular, like, hot tub sessions, okay? It could be any kind of intervention. I'm just one of those options, all right?
Yeah.
So, but that comes with the territory of getting older, unfortunately. Like,
I always said I feel like my body like functions at the age of like a 40-year-old. Like
a 40 or
40,
4? Okay.
Yeah.
I heard 4-year-old. I was like,
because like the tightness and like the pain and all that stuff, it's always like, it always bugs me.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
Imagine if you were still where you were at beforehand. Now it'd be way worse. So
Yeah. I always say I hate myself for getting to that point,
But love
I'm
yourself for getting
I'm
out of
so
it.
glad I
Yeah.
did, because it showed me that I could get out of it.
100%.
So yeah.
How'd you find all of that, Adham?
That was awesome.
You
It
enjoyed
was
that?
really, really informative, which I like.
Good,
Yeah,
good. I'm
yeah.
glad.
Yeah.
I do try really hard to be educational on this channel and for any patients that come in, because studies literally show that patient education helps for a positive prognosis or a more positive outcome. So,
Yeah.
was there anything about the education or any of the treatments that you liked in particular? Or
Yeah, when you were doing the
scraping.
scraping,
Yeah.
and you were telling me it's like a buildup of like friction and
Mhm.
like all that kind of stuff, and like also how on a day-to-day basis, because I was previously told I shouldn't be doing a lot of bottom up
Mhm.
movements, right? So on a day-to-day basis, it is inevitable.
Mhm.
You know, like you can't avoid that. So
Mhm.
like finding adjustments towards that, or like maybe even like the deadlifting thing,
Mhm.
like fixing my form,
Mhm.
is huge,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not a huge fan, as I said before, of limiting movement. Like
Yeah.
maybe in the acute stages of injury, if it's
Mhm.
actively aggravating a thing, yeah, you want to stay off, you want to let inflammation clear up.
Yeah.
But as soon as that's in the clear, the first stage of any rehab plan is to restore a full range of motion
Yeah.
and then gradually build up that weight, right?
Yeah.
It's the only way to get you back to practically living your life. So I'm going to say you go to the gym, you do all the pulling movements you want, okay?
Yeah.
Provided they don't actively aggravate your complaint. Anything less
Yeah.
than a 3 out of 10, that's green territory. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions or concerns or comments or thoughts for me for today? Or
yeah, about myself, how often do I be coming back? Like,
oh yeah, so that's the other thing.
Yeah.
So assuming you want to come back, which I mean, all patients you have a right to your own plan. I also recommend a treatment plan because I am a provider. I have to give the best kind of insight with my own experience. So you are not in an acute stage of pain.
Okay.
All right. If somebody walked in here and they came in at a 90-degree angle, I'd want to see them probably 3 times a week to start,
Yeah.
because of that acute pain component. Okay.
Yeah.
This stiffness you've been dealing with on and off for a while
Yeah.
now. But even still, like, where would you rate that discomfort level or that inconvenience level on your day-to-day life? Like 5 out of 10, no, 10 out of 10 being the most inconvenient thing in the world, 1 out of 10 being like, it's just there, it's whatever.
Honestly,
Mhm.
probably a 5.
5.
On like a day-to-day basis, but
Mhm.
once I notice it,
Mhm.
I'm like, it's like a 6 or a 7.
So it gets up there then.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like once I notice it, and
Mhm.
I'm like always like doing this, like kind of
Mhm.
trying to like adjust my back myself. It gets very, very annoying.
So I was kind of on the fence between once or twice a week for 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Reevaluate how you're doing and then try to decrease that. At the start of this session, I explained to him that the ultimate goal is to see him as infrequently as possible. Really fun guy, but I don't want him in here forever, right? But building up to that, we do need to hit a certain amount. So given that it's affecting you north of 5, I'd probably want to see it twice a week for at least 2 to 3 weeks and
Alright.
see if that's making an impact.
Yeah.
If it's not, then we reevaluate, we approach it in a different way. Maybe we incorporate acupuncture, we take more of a physiotherapy or a yoga approach, who knows. But I'm thinking that this is what you need to get you better in that manner.
Alright.
Also mentioned, when you watch this video, you will see the petechiae on your back.
Alright.
If we keep consistent with the tools, that will disappear, even
Alright.
following the treatments. Okay, I'll show you some examples off camera.
Awesome.
Any other questions or concerns?
Yeah. Does posture have a play in
Mhm.
like all of this? Like, is this like something that like I should be working on my posture as well? Is it have
People
like much
put
of a role?
huge emphasis on posture. You as a fitness advisor at Good Life, what does your day-to-day activity look like there? Like, are you sitting at a desk? Or are you up walking around, folding the towels, doing all that stuff?
It's like a mixture of both. I'm
Mhm.
either in the office making calls,
Mhm.
or I'm up and down the stairs showing people around the gym.
Mhm.
And then I go back to sit with them.
Mhm.
So it's like a mixture of like a lot of movement,
Mhm.
but at the same time I'm sitting and getting to know people a lot of the time. So yeah.
So posture is important when it comes to neck and upper back stiffness if you are remaining in any one posture for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah.
You with regular movement breaks throughout your day, I think it's playing less of a role,
Mhm.
all right? But if you were just a strict desk worker, the
Yeah.
most important thing would be for you to consistently change up your posture.
Yeah.
And if you're having trouble with that, if you do find yourself continuously getting into that quote-unquote bad, there's no such thing as bad posture like this for prolonged hours,
Yeah.
then what I actually recommend to a lot of my patients is an app. Okay, an app. It's called Focus Keeper. I'm not affiliated with Focus Keeper in any way. I just recommend it because it works. That can serve as a reminder to consistently change up your posture when you're sitting at a desk,
Yeah.
at least. All right. If you're up moving around, there's no point for it because you're already changing with every step.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
So I
it's
can
not
walk you
a lot
through
of
that if you're
changing?
interested in that
Like,
as well.
Just like movement overall is just like
Movement overall.
Okay.
There used to be this concept that there was a good and a bad posture.
yeah.
new research shows that the only bad posture is one that we remain within for too long, right?
Yeah,
So like
okay.
even if you had this perfect straight back, this sexy posture that everybody likes, you would develop symptoms associated with it if you were to remain in it for 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
Okay.
Right, there you
Okay.
go. Any other concerns or questions?
No.
No, perfect. Well then, it was great seeing you. We'll figure out the bookings now, and otherwise, thanks for coming in, man. You want to end on a high five?
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you, Adam.